Fuck. Welcome to the Wrestling fucking Rundown. I'm Thomas fucking Wolf. It's Travis fucking Colt. That's Kevin. He's fucking a hawk.
I was letting you know I'm not fucking a horse. Just for the record.
Well, let's start with Hell in a fucking Cell.
The results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not...
Because it's already happened.
Yeah.
We're not doing Hell in a Cell.
No?
No.
I thought we were just going to do a three-way Hell in a Cell match in this room.
Yeah, that's why we set up the cage all around the room.
Fuck, no one told me.
Yeah.
Didn't you wonder what we were doing?
I just thought it was decoration. Making the place a little more hardcore.
Nope.
Well, while you guys do that, I want to talk about the Hell in a Cell results. Because the show was fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of cool, how about the opener?
Oh.
2 out of 3 falls match between Dolph Ziggler and Cesaro.
Yeah, and we knew, based on their match they had on SmackDown, we knew something big was going to happen.
I mean, it was for the Intercontinental Championship, but I don't care. It was just the match was cool.
No,
it was a great
match. The match was better than the belt.
Yeah.
That's... Maybe.
I mean, currently,
I
in
like
the standings of what's cooler, how that match was and the way the belt looks.
Okay, yeah, okay.
It's a cooler object.
Yeah, I will accept that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew we were going to get a hell of a match between Ziggler and Cesaro.
Hell of a match at Hell in a Cell.
This was their third match of the week.
Yeah.
They Raw, SmackDown, and Hell in a Cell. Just, that one spot they just kept adding on throughout the week.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sign of a great wrestler. You can take this. Okay, we got to this point. Now let's start here, and we'll move it on to here. And they did it all through the week, which was fucking awesome.
Well, it's amazing how well this was done, considering how boring most feuds with. We're gonna have this match, and then this match again, and then they're gonna wrestle again.
Well, the difference though in this
Radio John Cena.
The difference is this has 2 really good wrestlers, and it was done really well.
Yeah. The rematches made sense.
I think the only big shock out of the entire thing was that Ziggler took it in 2 straight falls.
Yeah.
I have never seen
Ziggler with a clean.
No,
clean
it was
sweep.
awesome, which is probably going to lead to another match between the 2 because they're tied if you think about it.
You're right, because Cesaro was technically up 1 going.
Yep.
Wow. All the more reason to have another awesome match between the 2 of them. Yeah. Ziggler retaining the Intercontinental title in grand fashion. I've never seen 2 straight falls in a 2 out of 3 falls match. That was exciting for me.
Yeah, it made the match feel really special because...
It had a unique ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
What a maneuver.
Then we moved on to the surprise match of the night. The loser must be the winner's slave, bitch, personal assistant, whatever you want to call it, for 30 days. Brie Bella...
Bitch.
Slave... Personal slave, bitch, assistant.
Bitch assistant.
This is getting out of hand.
No, it's not.
This is another
it's getting
room.
in my hand.
Okay. Brie and Nikki fucking brought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we've mentioned a few times before, I think, where it's just, the storyline between the Bellas is so ridiculously boring and stale that you forget that they're decent in the ring.
Yeah, and it's...
Brie dove.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Did the Daniel Bryan dive, landed on Nikki's shin.
Yeah, that was... She's her sister. You should know about her severely, almost career-ending shin injury.
Yeah, but I think when you're diving that way, I don't think you really have an option of where you land. You just kind of fall. Technically, it's Nikki's fault, because Nikki caught her.
Yeah. The one...
Nikki screwed Nikki. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. No, the one thing I'll say about this match that kept it from being like a great match, I think, is while they both brought it, they clearly don't know how to put together a match from a character perspective. There was, I think it was Nikki who, after the first pinfall, Brie kicks out, and Nikki's like, come on! What do I... the first pin, and she's already freaking out. Oh my god, I don't know what to do. How do I beat her?
I've used everything. Well, yeah, and then, it was one of the last pinfalls she got before the end of the match. And when Brie kicked out, that was when she's like, "What's it gonna take?" And it was like, I mean, that's what you expect like the commentators to say,
right?
You know, it's
you were mentioning that it seemed like she was commentating her own match.
Exactly, because you always hear that. It's like, this person's got to be thinking, what's it gonna take to keep him down? And Nikki's just doing
thinking
it
out loud.
Yeah, she's just like,
I was really hoping she would
right
say that, and Michael Cole just said, and she's thinking to herself, what's it gonna take?
That would have been hilarious. No, the match was really good though.
Yeah.
Nikki ends up getting the win. I did not expect this good of a match.
No.
By any means. But I was definitely impressed. Knowing that we had this and then we still had AJ versus Paige later in the show made me even more excited for the Divas division.
Yeah.
Things are happening there.
Yeah, they're doing some good stuff.
Sexy Skittles.
We're not there yet.
We'll be there soon enough.
And then up next we had our tag team title match. The Usos getting another shot at the tag team titles. Another amazing match. The chemistry has definitely hit its peak between these two teams.
Oh yeah, they've come such a long way from that first match.
Yeah, the first match was just none of us were too excited. From that point. But they're doing great stuff. The Dust Brothers or Cosmic Cousins.
They call them the Cosmic Twins now.
The Cosmic Twins. Okay.
Which is funny because they're not twins either.
Yeah.
Make up your mind. You're confusing me. I don't know what the fuck to call. Dust to Dust. Retain the tag team titles again. I want to see more of Dust to Dust defending the titles. I think that's been my only issue with them being champions is that Usos were literally defending it at least once a week, if not every other week.
Yeah.
Whether it was just like simple matches on main event or a mid-card match on Raw, they were always defending the titles. And that's what I want to see out of Dust to Dust.
Absolutely.
But then we had our midway main event. Winner going on for a future title match against Brock Lesnar. Randy Orton versus John Cena. The 12-year feud comes to an end inside Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I was way more impressed with this match than I anticipated.
Yeah.
If you watch the prediction show, I mean, I'm gonna skip straight to the end right now. I voted for John Cena. They didn't. I won.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, the match better than their first Hell in a Cell, I think.
Yeah.
And
I feel like they knew it had to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way the story they told in the ring progressed, because they were both like kind of trying to hit heavy right at the very get-go.
Oh yeah.
Like they're just trying to get the match done and over with out of the way. Made it feel competitive, like two rivals of a decade would be ready. I likened it in my head to the Stone Cold versus The Rock at WrestleMania 19. Where, like, right off the gates, these guys are trying to hit their big moves and finish the match off. So, yeah, and I mean, it had a lot of good high spots with tables and chairs using the ring stairs.
Yeah.
Randy Orton didn't die using a table this time. He didn't get any fights with the inanimate objects in the cell.
But after
the stairs trying to kill him.
Well, that's because John Cena chucked him in his face.
Yeah. That was the one spot that really scared me.
Murder stairs.
Yeah, we're the same way because Randy Orton waited for the last possible second to move out of the way, and you said it best, Kevin. He had to move because
the steps went corner first.
Yeah.
To where Randy Orton was standing.
Well, and as soon as they hit the cell, they went all over the place. So Randy literally had to be on the other side to avoid getting attacked.
Yeah, one of the spots that I like that a lot of people kind of just glazed over, I think, is Orton's signature over the back neck breaker. And he did it while Cena was posted on the ring apron.
Oh yeah, when he drove it. Yeah,
awesome.
Oh yeah, the best camera shot of the match is when Orton posts Cena balls first, and then he's holding him there like this, and he goes, like, just really creepy.
Yeah. I was like, how are your balls, John? No, my favorite part of the match was the fact that we've been for the last 2 weeks getting the RKO out of nowhere, and we actually got the RKO out of nowhere when Cena went for his
the second shoulder tackle.
Second shoulder tackle into the RKO. I popped.
Yeah,
that was fucking cool. It's been a long time since we've seen Randy Orton, John Cena hit an RKO that we've never seen before.
Yeah,
and the fact that they did that was probably the highlight of the match. For
especially with Cena being such a big guy, like when Orton fights smaller, faster wrestlers, he has a lot more options.
Oh
hit the RKO
absolutely.
from.
Yeah,
Cena, there's not usually a lot of options there, so it was good that they found a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. The rumor of Orton working injured didn't seem to really show up until partway through the match. I noticed he got tossed out of the ring.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
you did say something.
He got tossed out of the ring, and he's on the mats on the ground, and he looks up to the referee in the ring and says, "My back, my back, my back."
Yeah, I mean, he seemed in rare form on Raw. He really hasn't seemed like anything's really bothering him, though he really only did the one segment on Raw also.
Yeah, I was going to say, but yeah, the fact that they did keep Orton off TV the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there really hasn't been too many updates as far as... I know there's potential plans to be writing Randy Orton off of TV for a little bit, just because he is dealing with some sort of issue, but...
Yeah. I'm excited to see what's coming up for Orton.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've said that I'm excited to know what's going to happen with Randy Orton.
Yeah, between Hell in a Cell and Raw, Randy Orton had a good week.
Oh, yeah.
Post John Cena winning the Hell in a Cell with the attitude adjustment off the ropes through a table.
Yes.
Which was a decent ending.
Yes. Very good.
So was it Miz versus Sheamus for the United States title?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Miz vs. Sheamus, the one match that we knew we weren't excited for in any way, shape, or form.
I slept through all the segments in the ring, and I only woke up specifically to watch Miz down on the outside.
Honestly, that is all I remember.
Yeah.
Is Sandow on the outside.
I remember the post-match.
The post-match was funnier and more entertaining
Oh,
than
that's
the
right.
match.
Post-match was awesome.
Yeah, so let's just, Sheamus retained.
Yes.
And then the post-match, we had like a voodoo doll moment going on, where Sheamus was playing with The Miz, and Sandow was doing the imitation thing.
That was great. So much fun.
The one that got me, was the fucking, the shimmy.
Yeah.
thing.
Oh my god. Thank you, Damian Sandow, for making gold out of shit. Oh, man.
Yeah. Then we moved on to the USA versus Russia, brother.
Yeah,
didn't know why I would Hulk Hogan with that one.
Because
it's
you are a
what does that
real
sound?
American.
Anyway, so we were excited for this one because they had a great match on Raw a couple weeks ago. Going into this one. This one didn't feel as... I felt like they were trying too hard in this one. Like, there wasn't anything super memorable for me in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like it was a lot more of just what happened in the first one.
Right.
Yeah. They tried to rehash.
Big Show came out as, balls to the wall, beating the crap out of Rusev,
Yeah.
and then Rusev finds a way to counter something and kick Big Show in the face.
Yeah.
No, that's my thing. Like, I don't think it's a case of trying too hard. I think it's a case of, on Raw, they had the fucking awesome dropkick spot that everyone remembers.
And Rusev tried to redo it, but he got him in the chest. He didn't really get him in the face.
Right, and at Hell in a Cell, they didn't have anything... Because if you're going to do an awesome spot like that and then have a match a little while later, you need to not only rehash that, but do something to top it.
Yeah.
If you want it to be memorable, and there was nothing that topped it.
Yeah, they ran the well dry on Raw.
Yeah.
But we did have Mark Henry come down during the match. Having Mark Henry came out did have that, what's going to happen? I thought for sure he was going to turn on Big Show at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
But it was more so a subtle distraction.
Mark Henry gets kicked.
Yeah. He's like, and he stands up and he's like looking like he's going to go for Rusev, and Big Show's like, "Don't do it, Mark. Don't do it." He goes, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing anything. He's just standing there. He gets knocked down on the outside, And Big Show ends up
Losing to the Accolade.
Yeah, losing to the Accolade again.
Accolade. If you're Spanish.
So yeah, it was good, just not as good as their match on Raw.
Accolade.
Yeah.
And then we moved on to our final title match of the night, where AJ defended the Divas title against Paige. These ladies just go after it every time they're out there.
Yeah,
And I love it. Alicia Fox was out there with Paige again.
I'm gonna say this wasn't my favorite.
No.
Paige versus
No,
AJ match.
definitely not.
But in the same way, it adds to the one of my favorite things to note about the feud is it's different every time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
None of their matches are cookie cutter of the one before it or carbon copy to the one before it. You know, so even if I wasn't like that impressed with the match, I can still say, oh look, they did a completely different match than the pay-per-view before.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's a case of, because I do agree it wasn't my favorite, but it's a case of, it's not my favorite, not because it wasn't a good match, but it's because I preferred a different match. Like, it was still good, it's just not what I preferred.
Yeah, definitely. I think their last singles match when AJ took the title back was probably their best singles match.
Yeah.
And then we had the triple threat match with Nikki, and so yeah, they've had a lot of good matches where this one just didn't quite reach the height that the rest of them have.
Right.
But we did have the unintentional screw job from Alicia Fox, her getting involved, distracting Paige.
Well, she didn't distract Paige. Paige was knocked out on the outside.
Oh, that's right. She tossed her back.
Rolled her back in to avoid getting counted out, and just basically fed her right into the Black Widow.
Yeah.
So Alicia
Not favored by Paige at the moment.
Yeah, Paige was a little peeved.
The spot that led into that, though, is what really pulled me in for that match was Paige standing on the guardrail and then AJ pulling her feet out from under her and her smacking the back of her head on the guardrail on the way down.
Yeah, because it looked like they were going for like a superplex like into the crowd.
Yeah.
And yeah, fuck. That would have been awesome if they fucking... That would have fucking hurt right on the concrete out there. Hell no. No, thank you. But yeah, so AJ retains once again. That's another point for me. But then we moved on to the most anticipated match of Hell in a Cell. I'm so glad they gave these guys the main event. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. Two Hell in a Cell virgins getting ready to beat the shit out of each other.
Like all virgins.
That's dirty. But yeah, so we get Ambrose coming out first. He's got the kendo stick in his little like quiver thing going on his back. Surveying the cell. Looks around. He's standing inside. Looks up at the top and goes, "Wait a second."
He threw a shit ton of stuff in the cell.
Yeah, he had
in the ring.
Yeah, chairs and
and a bunch of stuff he didn't use.
Yeah, just a bunch of random shit. Then he walked out and he looked at the top of the cell. And "We're all gonna die tonight!" And he climbed to the top of the cell. And that just kicked off the movie right there. Just Dean Ambrose yelling that we're all going to die tonight.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins comes out, tailed by the Cruiserweight division.
He sends them up first.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Decoys.
And I gotta wonder if, I legitimately think both of them were scared.
Probably.
For
Fuck,
their
I
life.
would have. Neither of them have been... they might have been in a cage once. Never a Hell in a Cell, and the first thing...
Never with Dean Ambrose.
And the first thing they get to do is, hey, go up there and get him. Climb up 20 feet and get the guy that I want to beat the shit out of.
Go get Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
Go make him do something he doesn't want to do.
But yeah, this pretty much ends up turning into like...
a 3-on-1 beatdown on the top of the cell.
You get Jamie going up one side, Joey going up the other, and then as they're distracting Seth Rollins... or distracting Dean Ambrose, then Rollins comes up.
Well, it was awesome.
They were distracting Seth Rollins while he was climbing up the cage. That's what took him so long.
Yeah.
Well, what was awesome is that Dean Ambrose was winning at first.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was the other part of it.
kendo
He had a kendo stick, too.
Yeah, he did have the equalizer.
Yeah. Well, at first he's beating the shit out of the Cruiserweight division, and then I think he's beating up Seth Rollins until...
Yeah, Jerry Mercury
legs.
dive tackled his legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was terrifying because you had so many people in spots where it was like you saw the cell sinking and you're just imagining Mick Foley fucking falling through it.
Yeah.
Just multiple times. I'm like, oh god. I knew that this new Cell is so much more reinforced than the old Cell, but I was still terrified of watching like two, potentially three guys falling through.
The part that freaked me out is when Ambrose got the advantage back, and Rollins started trying to run away from him, and he suplexed Noble on the Cell.
And then he gave did he give Joey dirty deeds?
No, Mercury took a clothesline.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he ran down the Cell to catch up with Rollins.
Yeah. And they're fighting, they're hanging on, punching each other, and at this point the commentators have gotten the hell out of Dodge.
Which you could already see they're gone.
Yeah, there was like watching it, like the tables are cleared, the commentators are just like, fuck this. There's like the only thing that happens is one of the Spanish commentators like grabs like one of the sound boxes real quick. He's like, oh fuck, I forgot about this. And then we get the double strike, both of them fall through the tables. A la Mick Foley, more so the Shawn Michaels original Hell in a Cell spot where he was hanging off the side and Taker smashed his fingers and he fell off. And
I think they were definitely going for the Foley, but I don't think WWE would let them.
Technically, they did go for the Foley just because this Cell is so much taller.
Yeah.
So it was like almost the same height as Foley.
Yeah.
But it was the same setup.
Yeah.
Or, well, the same kind of starting spot that Shawn had.
Yeah, but no, that's my thought, is they wanted to do the full Foley and go all the way off the cage, but WWE was like, no, we can't have you going off the top of the cage.
You do realize this one's like twice as big as the old one.
Well, it's only 5 feet higher.
Yeah.
Than the original Hell in a Cell.
It's still, that's scary.
Yeah, and to me, it made me think of Vince McMahon in the cage match with Stone Cold at St. Valentine's Day Massacre, where Vince is on the cage and gets hit and takes that same fall back through the Spanish commentator's table.
Oh, right. I appreciated the fact that they did this spot. It did feel very set up.
Yeah.
It didn't seem as organic as a lot of the other Cell spots do, but I did appreciate that they're like, hey, let's try and give them that Mick Foley, Shawn Michaels feel and give them that spot. So, yeah, I definitely appreciated it, but it did feel a little forced.
Yeah.
Totally appreciated everything in this match. Then they finally get in the Hell in a Cell, and all hell broke loose inside Hell in a Cell. All the weapons being used, a couple of great table spots. There was the elbow drop through the... That was such an awkward table.
That was my
setup.
favorite part of it, is that it was so awkwardly placed.
It wasn't set up perfect, but, got the elbow drop. There was the running...
Well, the normal would be the buckle bomb.
The buckle bomb through the table, which, rather than leaning the table up against the Cell, they actually had, like, the legs through.
Yeah.
They had it standing vertically.
Yeah. And Dean Ambrose really only went through, like, the bottom section.
Which made it look all the more painful.
Yeah, because he fucking hit the floor and went through the table. But yeah, just...
He hit the floor and then just pushed the table.
They had their suplex onto the stack of chairs.
Rollins
chairs.
Rollins does the back suplex. Ambrose was trying to suplex him over, and he reversed it and did the back suplex later, and it was just like poor decision making on Seth Rollins' part.
Yeah, he didn't think that through. But then Dean Ambrose he's got the advantage right there. He's
gonna win.
He's got the win, and then he goes, you know what? I'm going to get revenge. Pulls out a couple of cinder blocks, and he's got Rollins' head ready to stomp it and just destroy Seth Rollins.
It's time to kill Seth Rollins. And
one of the things that I thought was interesting is that he actually says, "I didn't want to have to do this," because Rollins kicked out of Dirty Deeds.
Yeah,
that's right.
And as he's setting Rollins' head on the cinder blocks, he says, "I didn't want to have to do this."
Yeah, and he also said, you did this to yourself, you stupid son of a bitch. Okay. Yeah, he's fighting the urge to be super crazy.
Yeah. I think what it was like, I didn't want to have to do this, you brought it upon yourself. Not because he kicked out, but it's because when Seth Rollins turned on him, this is the exact thing he thought about doing at first. As soon as the chair backstab happened, and then Seth Rollins did the center block thing, so Dean Ambrose was like, okay, I have to do that. I didn't want to.
All these things that I have to do to destroy Seth Rollins. But the lights would go out. We'd get some crazy...
Which I'm fairly certain the lights didn't actually go out. Like, I guess the lights went out in the arena, but I think they actually cut the video.
Yeah, like, I
because
thought...
the screen went completely black.
Yeah, and there was no sound for a second. And then it came back on, and then you kind of heard the buzz of the crowd again.
Right.
And then we kind of faded in from the blackout screen, and we had smoke billowing out from underneath the ring, a lantern sitting there, and Dean Ambrose going, what the fuck is going on right now? Seth Rollins is gone, and there's a hologram, which was the fucking coolest... That was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen that before.
Oh, yeah, and
It was new, it was original, and... You know, you can tell it's Bray Wyatt's voice.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's obviously him saying something in reverse.
Yeah, I believe he was saying, help me, Dean Ambrose, you're my only hope.
R2 Dean 2?
Yeah.
Okay. But then the real Bray Wyatt would come fucking blasting through the smoke and just annihilate.
Squashed him. He squished him.
Yeah.
Squished him so hard.
I heard that sound come from under him when he landed.
Then the lantern doesn't necessarily get moved, or
It just vanished.
yeah, it just fucking disappeared.
Yep.
He ends up giving the Sister Abigail to Dean Ambrose, and I love that he did the move. And
No, I'm pretty sure Seth Rollins pinned him first. And then post-match, he got the Sister Abigail.
He took him out with... He hit him with something that...
I think...
Well, it was just the big crossbody.
Was
The
it?
Mike Knox crossbody.
Was that it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Because he was he was on his knees, just right next to Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins was freaked out, trying to pin him.
Seth kind of slow crawled over, keeping his eyes on Wyatt the whole time. I don't like you either, but
Is
we
this
did
okay?
a tag team match.
Yeah,
I do this?
He's terrified. Gets the 3. His music starts playing.
Gets the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah, he takes off. He's done. And then we get the destruction of Dean Ambrose via Bray Wyatt.
No, this Bray Wyatt, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And to all you idiots out there who are saying that that they buried Seth and it didn't end clean, fuck you.
They buried Ambrose.
Buried whoever they buried. I don't care.
They buried them all.
I think the logic, what they're saying, what a lot of people are saying though, is that Seth Rollins comes across looking weak.
That's the point. He's a heel.
Right. He's a bad guy. Bad guys are not as strong as good guys. That's just wrestling 101.
That's the whole thing. Is that he got a cheap win over a match that we all thought Ambrose was going to win. And we thought Ambrose was going to win because he had so much pent-up aggression and he was going to be able to unleash it on Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
We did not expect Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt he didn't help Seth Rollins, he helped himself. There was, he didn't want to help Seth Rollins. It was just, hey, I want to beat the shit out of Dean Ambrose. So, just so happens that Seth Rollins is going to get a win because of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love the finish. I love the fact that we're moving on to this awesome feud between the two of them. If you've seen episodes of the Wrestling Rundown before, you know how much I love...
Probably haven't.
You probably haven't. But if this is your first time, I love Dean Ambrose and I love Bray Wyatt, and their promos are fucking awesome.
He's got a boner for Bray Wyatt promos.
I'm gonna say this right now, loud and proud. I am horny for Bray Wyatt promos, and I have a man crush on Dean Ambrose. Just the way it is. And Hell in a Cell goes off the air with so many questions,
Bray Wyatt yelling, "Follow the buzzards," and laughing.
Yeah,
and
just
then you get the new Bray Wyatt outro.
Yeah, rather than the landmass, you get him screaming at a light bulb.
Yeah.
Which I imagine he just does.
Which sounds like it's coming through a tunnel too. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the ominous sound to it. But yeah, it adds a whole new level to Bray Wyatt. We don't know what his motive is at this point. No explanations yet. Hell in a Cell was great. I was thoroughly...
I gave it a B+.
B+ all right, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid Daniel Bryan.
And a new rating system that we now have the Tony Toxin rating system. We have a 16 out of 23 stars, which is pretty good for the the debut of that rating system. So yeah, 16 out of 23 stars.
Right.
Not sure who this Tony Toxin guy is, but
he's our one of our off-screen associates.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So we appreciate his addition to the Hell in a Cell results. Kevin Hawk giving it the B+ on the Kevin Hawk report card.
Yeah, and Travis Colt won the prediction game.
Woo! Yeah. It was like 5-4 or something like that. I got 5 right. I'm good.
Damn you, Big Show.
Yeah, Big Show lost it for you, and Paige lost it for you.
Yeah, Paige.
What are you gonna say bad about Paige?
She made me lose. Fuck her.
I would.
Please.
In a heartbeat. So that's it for the Hell in a Cell
Hell in a
results.
fucking Cell.
Too good of a show not to really go over
Cell
and talk
inside
about.
hell while it was fucking.
So we're gonna move on. Our next video up. If you
Hell
check out the playlist
fucking
over here.
Cell.
Will you quit biting my finger every time I try and point at the playlist?
You're
Because
not.
you're pointing right in front of my mouth.
Yeah, don't you know not to put your fingers in front of his mouth?
He's a hawk, not a hippo.
Hawks bite.
Oh, that's true. All right,
Kevin,
Kevin.
just do this from now on.
Kevin, would you like to point at the playlist where all the people can
It's
find the
over there.
videos? So yeah, just follow Kevin
It's
Hawk's
over there.
finger because I don't want to lose mine, and you can click onto any of the videos. We've got the indie news coming up. A lot of indie news this week. I got the midweek wrap up. We got the SmackDown rundown, and because it's pay-per-view week, we have Tom's top 5.
Yeah.
Top 5 of the month of October.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all kinds of stuff coming up. They're all over the playlist. But up next, we got the Raw review, and we hope to see you there. Are we gonna see them there?
They'll see us.
Okay.
We hope you'll see us there.
See us
Someone.
at the Raw review.